So this is App Talks at App Promotion Summit, and this is actually very unfiltered because I didn't find out until very few hours ago that we were going to be speaking Karan Tibdewal, but I thought to myself, I know what I'll ask him because I know you, even though we don't know each other, because you are the CRM guy, is what I know of you. And I was always fascinated by that because I thought he has to be a force if we know him as the CRM guy. So your reputation precedes you, Karan. It's such a great pleasure to actually connect with you because I've heard about you, and then you're telling me that we've met. So our paths have crossed, and we have influenced each other because I remember some of my clients even, I do consulting, of course, and they're like, we have to get Karan because he knows lifecycle marketing before it was cool. Remember?
That's best.
When it was all about acquisition, and here we go. So yes, great to have you, Karan. How are you? And what is? Tell me about LTV Labs. Is that another gig?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a freelancer, and I have my own company, which is called LTV Labs.
Okay.
And what I do is, of course, consulting. As my own entity, but then also I sometimes would hire other freelancers to get the job done, depending on what the client needs.
Okay.
So I just gave it a formal name, LTV Labs.
Yeah.
I also host a podcast, which is called LTV Talks.
That's right. I've seen that. Now I have to listen in. Now you got me going. But LTV Labs, I mean, that was the point. You were into CRM and you understood, I think, back then what we're starting to understand now about the importance of CRM data. I've done interviews with people who say, actually the core of the company should be around CRM. So what are you hearing about the place of CRM in the strategies, with the marketers, with the companies that you're working with, consulting with? I mean, is this going to be what it can be? That's all the data about all the customers. And apps connect with customers. It certainly makes sense.
And I think it's like, if you allow me for a bit longer answer, I think when I started out, I was at HelloFresh, and back then CRM was majorly like newsletters, discounts, promotions. But then, of course, it has been evolving over the last 6-7 years. I think, of course, it evolved with the tools, data having more accuracy. CRM started becoming more reliable, connecting different product, acquisition, etc. But I think now even we are in a phase where it's being redefined, right? Like in terms of I work with apps where the CRM team is no longer just like sort of engaging and retaining users, but they're also looking at paywalls. They're looking at the entire funnel end to end, win backs, for example. Now I think the lines are getting very blurry in the sense of what product can do with a lot of no-code tools out there. Now also like CRM product is working together a lot. So I think that's like the trend that I feel is very exciting.
It's the way it has to be, because if you think about it, when you have no-code approaches or tools, then that gives marketing back to the marketers because you have these great ideas. It's like, I've got this great idea for a campaign. No, we have to wait until we can get the developer time and we can do all of that work, and then you're not moving as quickly as app marketers need to move now.
100%.
Absolutely, because they are building experiences, delivering experiences. What are some of the interesting cutting-edge approaches that you might be seeing? Because we can do so much more now. We're thinking finally, full funnel, although you could even argue there isn't a funnel, but we won't go there. But we are thinking about the full journey, which is a step forward. But there aren't many in-app tools. You sort of get everyone into the app, and then it's like from there on,
it's sometimes
it's notifications or nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What can we do? What can we do that's more exciting than just that? Because even notifications, obviously, people will be turning them off. So how do we get them to tune in when they turn off?
I mean, it's very interesting, right? Like I think people are engaging in different mediums. Like if you look at acquisition, you have like Web 2 apps coming up, which are of course like changing how you do acquisition. Right. But then from a CRM perspective, I think we oversee a lot more channels now. For example, it's very common to have banners within the app where you can dynamically populate them. You have, of course, like some good AI lifecycle, tools coming in. I don't see them yet being sort of taken, and people are not taking and running with it already. So I see still like the top 1% of the companies trying to apply it. But it's still a very interesting way where people are, customizing the content, things like that.
So it's a content-first strategy rather 100%. Than thinking about the tools.
100%.
but you are a consultant, and we do love a little bit of help along the way. Are there some tools? Are there some techniques you can call out that, like 2025, it will be inevitably, like it or not, it's full funnel, and it's in-app journeys that you need to be creating. We haven't created them yet. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be challenging. Tools, techniques that we should be looking at, that we should be seriously thinking about, your stack needs to look like this.
I mean, I wish I could answer that simply, but I think, like, of course, you have like some of the common suspects, right? Like you have Braze, you have a Revenue Cat or a Purchasely. I think what's coming together is like also there needs to be a consistency in your data, right? Like I think up until now, what has been happened is like you might have an Amplitude, a Braze, a Purchasely or a Revenue Cat.
But we need something overarching it all now.
Yeah, and I think people have tried that, but it hasn't worked as beautifully as it has been claimed. But I think now is the time when people are really under pressure to have a consistency view of the user and their journey, and also the metrics, right? Like I have been in CRM teams, and like most of the CRM teams don't trust their data. I think like that's a very big theme that's going to change soon. Yeah,
I know. I've heard people say that they get upset in CRM because, I mean, these are going to be sort of, I call it the hub, the next real hub of the company. And it's like, everyone says, well, the answer's in the data, go pull it from the data. And then you actually talk to someone in CRM, which I have been doing recently, and they're like, you know what, pulling that is not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, 100%.
Pulling the data, it's not structured. Yeah. It doesn't have that. And there's something also about, the real time and the latency. I mean, we keep on looking backwards to look forwards.
100%. And I mean, I think there are tools that are coming up. If you look at reverse ETL, that has been in the industry for quite some time, but not been used. I think those things are coming up more and more. I think the trend is also like, let's pick a tool that we can sort of plug in and start using in 1 month, rather than have a 6 month, 1 year onboarding, getting up to date and everything, right? People can't waste that much time.
So you have a podcast and you have a company, LTV Labs, LTV Talks. Give me an idea, because people, when they talk with you, like you're talking to me, they tell you things and it's like, that really is insightful. That's something that sticks out. I want to share that, or I want to make a note of it, or it's just a glimpse into the future. What have people been whispering to you, Karan, during those sessions? Share some.
I think like one of the things that I see, maybe it's not as as exciting, is that organizations are changing quite drastically now, in the sense that how they structure their teams, what kind of roles they are looking for. I think that's something that has not been spoken about a lot, but I still see it very, very actively in my clients, at least, where people are trying to understand what CRM is, where does the boundary lie between product and CRM, what tools should be owned by CRM, marketing, etc.
Who owns the customer?
And I think that's a very big theme.
Yeah.
And of course, then you also have this sort of AI coming into the picture, but I don't see it being used as much as you see it on social media, I think. So people use it for content creation and stuff, but I think there's a big space where people have the appetite of like having these small things that can help me, like AI agents that can help me with like
agents that just things. Do this one thing. Yeah, I hear about that a lot. Some companies out there that I was watching and actually working with. AMP was one, for example, looking at agentic AI, and also the focus on predicting. That's maybe where AI will be very, very powerful. We've been looking backwards. This person did this. This person was or is in that demographic, but of course we're always changing. So the audiences are changing, context is changing, and I'm excited about what happens when AI and CRM come together. I don't think it'll be replacing, I think it'll be augmenting. I think CRM, you tell me, CRM, probably one of the most secure spots in the company. Maybe okay.
You reduce the head count.
Okay. Reduce the head count, but improve.
But maybe you'll definitely.
Well, you get work.
I get work. That's what I care about. Yeah.
What about LTV Talks, the podcast? What are some interesting moments from that?
Oh, it's been super awesome. Like I think I've had people from. From South Africa. I've had guests from Russia sometimes, from different parts of the world, and it's just interesting how everyone
Common thread.
is in the industry
Yeah.
and talking about the same topics.
Interesting. We
yeah.
should shade some guests.
Yeah, 100%. I would love to.
Because everything ends up there right now, life cycle marketing. So you must feel very, if not energetic about 2025, also a little bit validated because you were talking about life cycle marketing before it was cool.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think like we all have been, right? Like I think I count you as well there. I think 5 years ago, there was a huge case to be made for retention, and now we see that in the front line.
Now it's the new black.
Yeah.
Now we're in style.
Finally, hopefully.
So what's next for you, Karan? I mean, I've been looking. Now I'm going to look at you even more closely because you were there, and CRM Guy is quite a title.
Right.
If you're the man in CRM, then I need to mind meld with you. But what's next at LTV Labs? What are you up to there?
I'm trying to build an app myself.
Oh, cool.
Just as a side project,
Then you can test on it also.
Yeah,
as well.
just to see what it takes, sort of thing. But otherwise, next for me is like helping teams build a CRM strategy that sort of takes into account whatever is going to allows them to scale up soon, and get the best practices. I mean, I know it sounds dull, but I think in our industry, not many people have caught up to what the industry standards are. So a lot of the work I see is going to be like taking companies that have product market fit and then bringing them to the forefront of what CRM can do. I think that's where I see next year.
And also maybe bringing some of the CRM back into the product. That will be exciting because it's supposed to be that flywheel, and what you learn from the customer should go back into the experience and into the product. We're all selling experiences, not products. 100%. It's not an app. You're architecting a journey. So bringing that back in will be also very exciting, and certainly will be important when we consider data loss, signal loss. These are the signals we have, so we have to make the best of it.
100%. And these are the signals you own, right? Like all other channels you don't really own. So I think this is going to be much more important now.
So we're meeting here, Business of Apps, my favorite event, and it's such a great way to end the year. You end up on an upbeat, and you're meeting people, you're here. What brings you here?
I think great sessions, great people. I've been in Berlin for 8 years now, or 9 years now.
Okay.
So it's nice to come in and see familiar faces, experts. I think it's every year something new that people are talking about. Sometimes the old stuff, but in a new twist. And I feel like that's what I'm here for. And hopefully, hopefully I'll get.
Well, you know what? Then we get to meet again next year for sure.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Awesome. Well, it's been great to meet you finally in person, because it was sort of like a mind meld from a distance. But I have to say, Karan, you earned the title CRM Guy, and you have certainly also earned a very good year ahead. You're on the wave. You know what's going on. And next year, you'll be telling me some great stories, I'm sure, about what happened in 2025.
I certainly hope so.
You rock, Karan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.